it starts to feel like AI today is sort of like the perpetual mobile from 1 century ago. The principle is the same really, to get out of it more than you're putting into. But now instead of mechanical energy, we have information. A perpetual mobile, as its name suggests, is a machine that never stops. Once put into action, it keeps on moving. So of course, this kind of violates the laws of thermodynamics. It basically means that energy is created out of thin air, or at least it's never lost. So we know that's not possible. And in fact, perpetual mobiles were a bit of a taboo in the scientific and general public world, because there always have been, and even now, are claims of inventors finding out ways to have a machine that runs forever. But of course, all of them turned out to be fakes, to be not genuine, to have a hidden mechanism, a hidden source of energy that in fact powered the machine up. We know for sure from physics that machines that simply run forever cannot exist. And it seems like people have gotten bored with mechanical systems and are now interested in perpetual mobiles of the information kind. What I mean by this is that a new milestone that we dream about in artificial intelligence is the moment when we manage to build AGI, so artificial general intelligence. The general in this term refers to how this system can tackle general problems. Like it's no longer constrained by a special use case that we design it for. It's general. It can tackle all kinds of problems. And we kind of look at it as the system that, once put into place, can solve all our problems. So you see how elusive this is. The idea that we simply have to invest the resource to build this thing once and then simply let it run and do its magic for us. The fact is, it gets even more crazier, because if we think about the general intelligence that is so powerful, then it should be also able to improve itself. So the moment of AGI is speculated to be one point of no return, like so many call it. Because once we achieve this moment in time, this general intelligence, then we don't only let it run and it keeps on being the same, we let it run and it improves itself. So the comparison with the perpetual mobiles discussion is pretty obvious now, because even there's two types of machine. Like having a perpetual motion machine is not ambitious enough. There is the first type that simply runs, but there's also the second type that in fact produces energy that we can use. So you get all those contraptions that claim to have invented free power, free energy, free electrical current and whatnot. And now information. That's the elusive part. We think that information somehow should not apply to the same rules like mechanical systems. But why shouldn't it? I think the best question to ask is, how is information created? If it is created, in fact, maybe it's just discovered, transferred between one entity to another, just like energy is. Let's think of this in a more practical way, of how information directly translates into a concrete effect. So I'd imagine the design of a new medicine, which clearly would save lives, for example, or the improvement of a technological system like an engine or something like that, which would produce a less consumption of fuel. So from our point of view, at least, from the subjective point of view of humanity, that is an information that is being created. We didn't have it before, and we have it now. And things have changed because of that. Of course, an AI system can help with this, can help us arrive at a result faster, better, or maybe even in a way that it wasn't possible before. But still, that information is not exactly created from thin air. That information is created based on the crutches of the system, of the definition of the problem that we've made beforehand. So the question now becomes whether this AI system would be able to come up with the problem definition in itself. Moreover, how would we create this AI system? What data can we use to train it on? Because you see, we cannot simply use the AI to generate data to train the AI on. That would simply lead to an information collapse, because the quality of that data would degrade by each pass, just like if you Xerox an image and then you Xerox the result and so on. After several iterations, you end up with something that barely resembles the original. So you'd assume we can learn from the environment, from the natural world around us. After all, that's how humans do it, and animals too. But we have no means of translating this for our artificial systems. They solely optimize criteria which we define. Even those that are not very explicit, we still have embedded our predispositions, our knowledge, and our assumptions into those. It might as well be that all our meta criteria for learning is a function of survival, which frankly, for an artificial system, cannot be translated.